Welcome to Chattin 88. If you're just tuning in, hey, that's great. Every single week we have a guest. Oh, spending time with me is the best. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Chattin 88s with your host, you guessed it, Curtis LaBelle. We are here live from Studio C. We'll let you know where that is later. But welcome to Season 2, Episode 1 of this fantastic experience that I get to do every single Wednesday. Chattin 88s at 8. You know, it's so funny because the guest we have tonight inspired this show and gave me an idea, told me to try it out, and you know what? I did. I ran with it, and it has been an absolute success since we started it 7.5 months ago, and I could never have imagined exactly where I would be today without doing this talk show, and how much knowledge I have learned and how much I have experienced in the music industry, especially Canadian music. It has taken me and moved me to a whole new level, and I'm so grateful for it. And all of us here at Chattin 88s are so grateful for everybody who has been supporting us, watching us online. Share our videos. We have our official videos on our YouTube channel, as well as we are very excited and still thrilled to have Shaw Spotlight. A huge thank you to Shaw Spotlight for all of their support. They have been giving us an opportunity to have our talk show aired here in Alberta. It has been an extra cherry on the cake, and I'm so very excited for that. So thank you, Shaw Spotlight, for everything that you have done for us. We appreciate you. We love you. And to the future of Chattin 88s and 8, the only Canadian talk show of its kind where we support live Canadian music, original content. We bring you all the stories in Canadian music today. On this day is a segment that we do, and we have an amazing lineup for 2021. I can't believe it. We have an amazing lineup for 2021. Oh, wrong chord. Got to play. Got to keep going, even if you have a wrong chord. That's my tip for the day. My tip for the day: if you make a mistake, keep going. Own the mistake. At any rate, what we have planned for you today and for the rest of 2020, for the rest of January, is absolutely going to be crucial for, I think, every artist to pay attention to, every artist to listen, to tune in and watch our episodes. We have 4 amazing episodes for January. Today we have an amazing artist management manager coming on today, CJ Allen, and we're going to be diving in and bringing out some of the most important tidbits and important things to know for artists in management and for managers to be managing artists, and that relationship and the dichotomy between the two, and why it's important, and when are you ready for artist management. Management. We also have this month, we have Kate Davies, who is A&R label representative, and she is in the casting industry. She's going to be talking about the relationship between artists, the importance of getting to know your A&R representatives, and what they can do for you as an artist if you are moving into the label community, and when is it important to sign with a label, when is it not important, what is important to you as an artist, and why you feel you deserve or have that want right now to sign with a label. Sometimes it's not a good thing to sign with a label. Sometimes it is, depending on the relationship, and knowing the information and knowledge and everything that you need in order to be successful at that. We also have Jennifer Beavis, who is representative for licensing and copyright for music in Canada. She is also a fantastic woman, just all around. She is going to be, her and I are going to be talking later on in the month about why it's important to license your music, how to license your music, the responsibilities of copyright, why we want to copyright our music, in diving into SOCAN and BMI in America, and why we want to make sure that we are covering our butts as artists in the industry and owning everything that we have created. And last but not least, we have another amazing, I'm so excited to have this guest as well this month. We have Danya Dixon, the CEO of Canada Music Week. She is going to be joining us, and we are going to be talking about what Canada Music Week is, what it does for artists, why it has been supporting artists in the community in Canada and around the world for such a long time. And I'm so excited to just get to know this lady even more and pick her brain and discuss everything music with CEO Danya Dixon for Canada Music Week. So needless to say, cheers to 2021 and cheers to our month of January for some amazing guests that we have coming up. Absolutely. I love this cup. This is amazing. This was a gift from our everything guy, our lovely cinematographer, camera operator, all of the above. Great man, Dave Dinan. Thank you so much. You are a gem and a real joy to have as a part of this talk show. Okay. We have a couple things that we need to get through first before we go ahead and bring in our guest. But first, one of those things that I'd like to do is sing you a song in all our lovely Canadian classic style here on Chattin 88s. This is a song that I wrote last year, and it's very important for 2021 for me. And you'll find out why later on in the next 4 weeks time frame. But to start kicking off 2021 in the right way, in my belief anyway, this is something that I think we all can do from COVID-19 because, let's get rid of it. Let's get it out the door. Let's run away from COVID-19. Don't wait for the postman, he don't have anything to give ya. These boozy eyes are out to get ya. Don't wait for another, you'll be holding on to time forever. Oh, these city nights are out to get ya. Run away, run away. Hey, run away, run away. Run away, run away. Hey, run away, run away. Don't worry, no lie, no cheat. Go on and carry me and hold me outside. But these boozy eyes are out to get you. Don't say hello to the one you know who doesn't want to be around you. Oh, these city nights are out to get you. Run away, run away. Hey, run away, run away. Run away, run away. Hey, run away, run away. Don't worry, fight the fight you always had to. Don't worry, the walls ain't coming down around you. Run away, run away. Run away, run away. Hey, run away, run away. Run away, run away. Hey, run away, run away. Whoa, run away. First time with an ear monitor in, and I should have taped it better, but that's okay. We'll get the glasses covering up the cable there. Run away. Yes, things are happening with that song, my friends. and it's going to be a great experience. If I can keep the earpiece in, that would be dynamite. I'm very excited to be releasing that song this coming up here in a very short period of time. And please make sure that you pay attention to all the what is happening with that song and when is it going to be exploding. Oh, well, folks, we are at the point where we have our next part of the bit before we bring in our guest. On this day. And you know, one of the things that I wanted to change this year for 2021 is we are a Canadian talk show. And I want to make sure that we highlight everything Canadian. So, starting today, season 2, episode 1, 2021, we are doing all things on this day Canadian in Canadian history. So this is very exciting. So let us move on without further ado. On this day, 1981, Rush releases Moving Pictures. That's very exciting. I had no idea till I was a lot of these I didn't really know. So again, I am learning a lot of information about Canadian history right here on our own talk show. That's very cool. On this day. I don't know what the third note is that I'm going to sing, so that's the part that's kind of fun. 1983, tidbit, the year I was born. The Tragically Hip forms in Kingston with over 3 decades of performing their with over 3 decades of performing, they performed their last concert in August 2016 in Kingston. So how about that for bookends? Ended where you started, Kingston, all the way through 30 decades. My goodness, 3 decades, and then they finished in Kingston. So that's pretty exciting. On this day, 1984, Leonard Cohen releases Hallelujah. Just isn't it nice whenever you can hear the first 2 bars of a song or even 1 bar of a song and you know what it is? That's a hit, ladies and gentlemen. That is a hit. And I've got to remind myself afterwards, we have to talk about one of our artists that we interviewed last year that is talking about why my song sucks. So I'll say that a bit after we do this. 1985, on this day, Angela Hewitt wins the Toronto International Bach Competition. Yes, that's very exciting. Have some classical music. We have amazing classical Canadian classical artists as well. It's unbelievable. On this day, Canadian women dominated the Grammy Awards. 7 awards were won by Joni Mitchell, Shania Twain, and Alanis Morissette. And I believe with Jagged Little Pill being one of the highest or the top selling albums of all time at that point, or don't correct me on that, but 7 awards won between those 3 women on this day in 1996. On this day, Celine Dion, My Heart Will Go On, wins 2 Grammy Awards. Again, another hit. Right? Again, another song that you can hear within seconds and know what it is. On this day, the Four Seasons Center for the Performing Arts opens in Toronto. If you've never been to the Four Seasons Performing Arts Center in Toronto, I highly recommend that you go. Not only is it a visual, stunning piece of architecture, it is a great facility. It is state-of-the-art, and they are great community there. Great community. And last but not least, on this day, 2016, Drake releases his 4th studio album, Views. And speaking of views, we want to make sure that our views go up. So please share our videos, start a watch party, do all that lovely stuff. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Before we bring in our lovely guest for this evening, I just want to say we were talking about mistakes and figuring out songs and why songs suck and all that stuff and blah, blah, blah. We had a great artist great Canadian artist that we interviewed last year, Ryan Resmer, who has a great YouTube channel as well. Please, at Resmer Music is his YouTube channel, and you can find, I think that's what it is, and watch his video. It's about 5 minutes long. It's called Why Does My Song Suck? Or Why Do My Songs Suck? and he goes through the top 9 reasons why, in his belief, in his opinion, as a singer-songwriter himself, and accomplished as well in not only the gospel industry, but also in the pop industry as well. So check his video out. We will be sharing that video on our Facebook page. So give that a like, give that a listen, and give that a watch. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for our fabulous guest. This man is not only a music manager, but he is also CEO and creator of Canada's The Shot, going into its 9th season. He is also a representative with K-pop music in South Korea, and has done parts of the industry with Asian tours. Please put your hands together for Mr. CJ Allen. Hello, good sir.
I made it.
You made it.
I'm here.
This is absolutely stunning. What a pleasure to see you in a different...
And you.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. And especially in a different light, in a different form.
Right? Isn't this great?
It is great.
I love the setup that you have here. It's very elegant.
Thank you. You know, we have a few different studios. We have Studio A, B, and C. And Studio A is where we normally do the show, where we started out the show, the inauguration of the show at the Vinyl Den, which is a live music venue / cafe / merchandise store of vintage, everything vintage. From, like, literally, we were looking at a lunch box from the Beatles. He has a Beatles displays, Kiss displays. It is unbelievable. This
sounds
place.
Like my kind of place.
Yeah, it is. It not only sells records, but it's got T-shirts, memorabilia, you name it, from every single band you could name. And that's where we started out the show. That's Studio A. Studio B is in another location that we can't get to at the moment because of quarantine. And Studio C is wherever I set up in my house.
It's very Phantom of the Opera-esque. Can you do the On This Day for me one more time? I want to try that. I want to do the On This Day.
On this day.
Okay, so the On This Day goes along with the chords. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, it does.
Okay. All right. I loved that. That was great. Anyway, it's good to see you.
It is great. It is great to see you. And for everybody at home here, we have a great show lined up for everybody. So let's just dive right in. CJ, you have been involved in the music industry for a while now. You have set foot into conversations with many great people in the Canadian music industry. But before we dive into that, tell us a little bit about yourself that's not music related. Where are you from? Do you like hockey? Do you have any other Canadian traits that be able to share with us before we nitpick and dive right into the gritty stuff?
Do I have any Canadian traits? I love a good Boston cream donut from Tim Hortons.
Okay.
With and I'm sure they're not a sponsor, so forgive me for giving the plug. With a good double on the side. Right now I'm in St. Thomas, Ontario, which is about 20 minutes outside London, Ontario. Mm-hmm. Originally from Kitchener, Ontario, working in Toronto, Ontario. I go all over this province, but I'm not going all over this province. I'm a hockey fan. I'm really not. I know that's sad and unfortunate, and I really should be, but music keeps me so busy that I don't have time for the ice.
Can you skate?
Yeah, I can skate.
Oh, that's good.
I can. After
skate.
A few cocktails, anybody can do anything.
Hey, you know what? This is on this day. All right, CJ. Why did you decide to move into the music management section of your life, and what experiences do you have to respects to owning the role of being a music manager?
I got into the role because I can't sing. If I could sing, I'd probably have a Grammy right now. I've enjoyed the business side of business and everything about business for the longest time. And actually, coming out of university, I thought I was going to end up in the publishing world, working in magazines. And I was actually running a magazine in Peterborough, Ontario at the time. of graduating. I thought I was going to do that for forever. Uh, Instead, life happens, things happen, tragedy happens in life. I find myself 5,000 miles away in South Korea. Um, Eventually get into publishing there, running a expat English lifestyle and culture magazine, and that opened the world of music to me. There's lots of Canadians, lots of American, Australian expats in South Korea who, when they're not teaching for their day job, are playing in bands or are solo artists or are going to open mics and are still very passionate about the business of music. And there's been nothing more bizarre in my life. I shouldn't say nothing more. I've had a lot of bizarre things in my life, but um, than an expat singer-songwriter or band wanting to make their break in the Korean music scene. I don't think it's ever happened, but wanting to know about the business was my start in the business. Wanting to understand how um, management works, especially touring, was something that I was really interested in back in my younger days, and I did a bit of that through Asia with some K-pop artists. Um, but it came my start in music, not wanting anything to do with music or thinking that I'd ever be in music, was just out of wanting to know how the business worked.
So you were
That's
just
the
you were
short.
very interested in it. Like what were you doing before that made you kind of shift into the music business and want
Well,
to
as
do
part
it?
of what I was doing in publishing and running the magazine, um, it was called Nay Magazine. Nay means yes in Korean, Neh. Running Nay Magazine, still online, funny enough. If you go to issue.com, issuu.com/NEHZINE, all the issues of Nay Magazine are still online. And I peek at them every once in a while just to get a taste of the good old days. But as part of the magazine, we would do features on the expat bands and artists that I was talking about before. And um, they'd want to get more gigs, more bookings. I became fluent. I became a pretty good speaker of Korean the first year that I was there. I was there for the better half of 10 years. And I was able to talk to venue owners and get gigs booked for bands there. And the real first experience that I had with music was that we did a feature in the magazine on a band who was looking for more gigs in around the Seoul metropolitan area. And I said I'd help them out with getting gigs because I could speak Korean and I could talk to venue owners.
So you just kind of just threw yourself into it, if you will, and it really kind of took off from there, right?
Yeah,
That's
that's
awesome.
a great way to sum it up.
But and that's a very important aspect about the music industry is throwing oneself out there, taking that risk, even if you are wanting to do the work into the business side of things of music, or you're an artist who's wanting to be creative, or you're a new artist who's wanting to take that challenge and move forward with it. So that's really cool that you did that. I didn't know that, and that's what a great piece of inspiration for other artists who are having a struggle stepping off that ledge or dipping their toe in the water and they're getting cold feet. Just jump, go for it, and own it, and take stop putting up a barrier and stop foreseeing what could be, well, what if, and everything like that. Just do it, and then if something comes up, deal with that then, and go through another path, and then deal with that then. It's kind of like life,
Completely.
right?
Yes.
Absolutely. So let's move towards a little bit of the relationship between the artist and the manager, and let's go towards the let's put the scenario of an artist who is ready for a manager, who thinks that they're ready for a manager. So what do you offer as a manager that would spark the interest of a ready artist to hire you?
Well, it's very different now than it was before the pandemic, as you know through our conversations and becoming friendly. Um, Before the pandemic, the artist manager role was very business centric. And a manager, artists sometimes get confused about the roles. A manager is not a booking agent,
Right.
traditionally, in the sense of job descriptions in the business. A manager is not a booking agent. A manager is on the artist's side to help guide and manage the artist's business. So negotiating with a particular venue once an opportunity comes to pass or is offered, to making sure the artist is properly compensated for their performance, or helping an artist look over contracts that are offered to them, helping an artist explore possibilities with a publishing agency or with a music supervision, sync opportunities. Growing of the artist's business is the pedestrian definition of what a manager does. From where I sit, and what I think great managers do, is they build a relationship with the artist that they're working with, and have a personal connection so they understand where the artist is with their mental health, with their physical health, with their creative health, roadblocks that the artist is facing personally, professionally, artistically. And first and foremost, most important, so I've gone 3, 2, 1. Number one is that a manager should always represent and have their artist's best interests in mind. And sometimes that means saying to an artist, no, that's a bad idea. Don't do that. Shouldn't do that. Won't do that. And very clearly disagreeing with what an artist may want to pursue. Or if it's something that an artist really wants and is in their best interest, then to make that happen for the artist. But to always have the artist's best interest top of mind is the most important role that a manager has in an artist's career.
So okay, so I'm sure you have I'm gonna assume people have come to you and said, I need a manager. I want a manager. I think I need, it's time for a manager. So when is an artist ready for a manager? What is an artist looking for in their own journey and checklist so that they know, okay, yes, I have this. I'm now ready for management. What, like, when are they ready?
I don't think there is an answer to that. I've had that question asked at panels at Canadian Music Week or different conference events. And I've struggled with figuring that out for myself. And the only answer that I can give is that there isn't a one size fits all for every artist. That an artist, to me, is ready when they understand the fundamentals of their business. I encourage artists not to hire somebody to do I don't want to say rudimentary, but the basic tasks of running their business, because being an artist is no different than being an entrepreneur in any other business category. Understanding the fundamentals of your business, whether that's how to do simple graphic design or managing your website, managing your social media, encouraging engagement with your crowd and fan base. When an artist understands those fundamentals and they're ready to have deeper conversations about how to get outside the box and how to have bigger conversations with the industry people that live in a gated community and can't be reached by indie artists for the most part. That's when they might be ready for a manager. When they're so comfortable with their own business as both an artist and an entrepreneur that they need more direction, more guidance, more help.
Okay, so absolutely. And which you lead right into the next question that I was thinking in my head, not on my card, but what a lot of artists, when they sign up with a manager, they think, okay, now I have a manager, things are going to get a lot easier. That is definitely not true.
No, they get a lot harder.
Exactly 100%.
Yeah.
Why is it so important for that artist to keep, if an artist is going at 100% now and they've moved on to signing on to a management deal or having a manager on board now, it's not just drop the bags and here we go, it's easier, hand off. It's like a relay race, handing off the baton. It not only does the relationship need to be there, but why is that so not true? And what is some things that the artist has to remember and has to keep going towards so that it's not going to epically fail in their mind?
In the traditional sense of an artist-manager relationship, a manager is taking as much risk as an artist is, because what a manager is saying to an artist is, I believe in you so much that I'm going to bet my whole livelihood on you. If an artist doesn't get paid, a manager doesn't get paid. It was the traditional way it was done. Mm-hmm. There's a management agreement. Whatever the artist brings in, whether that's through gigs or whether that's through promotions, anything the artist does where there's payment, a percentage of that goes to the manager.
Let's talk about that for a quick second. What has been the norm? How has
industry standard is 15 to 20%.
How has that evolved over the years, and what impact has that had on management? Because I know eventually, like a conversation that we were having the other day was you make X amount of money on a label, and then you have to pay every single head. You pay back all that head. How has that changed over the years with the percentages for a manager?
Well, I don't know how it's changed or why it's changed. I think for a manager, you see something in an artist, you believe in what they can be and what they're doing, and so you want to invest yourself in their success. And that's what appeals to me about management, is investing myself in the success of an artist. So like I was saying, if an artist doesn't hold themselves accountable, doesn't have the work ethic to seek out opportunities for themselves, while the manager is also looking out for those opportunities, talking about those opportunities and talking up the artist or artists that they're working with, the manager is not putting food on the table. So it's very important that it be established clearly defined, established between an artist and a manager in the traditional sense of what that relationship looked like. That the manager is as much in the game as the artist is, and in some cases is assuming more of the risk.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think the manager is putting more blood on the line, if you will, in investing not just their time. Well, their time is the valuable part as well. And I think a lot of artists, well, I don't speak for a lot of artists, but I can certainly say that I've experienced speaking with other artists who have managers that think it is just the manager's responsibility to find the gig, not to book it, but to find it and to support them in a position where they are, you know, the artist is just there to look good and perform, write the music and deliver. Whereas I think, you know, as the artist is, you know, running that business, running the everything, their own CEO, if you will, they are responsible for finding that job. And I think I think it's a little crazy for an artist to think that it just goes away and it becomes easier. So yeah,
the relationship is very much like a driver and a navigator. The artist should be in the driver's seat, driving the business forward, and the manager should be on the passenger side, map in hand, looking at the path ahead,
I like
and navigating the road.
I like that. I really like that a lot. That's a great piece of advice. That's a great image. You know, a lot of artists are image based, and they need to be painted a picture for their ability to have.
You're telling me.
Let's talk. Speaking of painting a picture and moving on, I want to talk about brand. And why is brand so important in the music industry? And what is one thing that an artist can do to improve the performance of their brand? And when I say performance, I mean it doesn't just sit there on an image. It is out in a magazine. It is doing something in reciprocation for them and turning it into a form of remuneration. So why is brand important, and what can they do to improve it?
Well, the question is almost one and the same in a sense, that an artist's brand is the first thing that what's the word I want to use? I wanted to say outlier, but that doesn't sound very nice, but I'll say it anyway. So someone who doesn't know who the artist is, someone who's completely oblivious to the artist's existence. The brand is the first thing that they see, the very first thing, whether that's their logo or the colors that an artist chooses to use as part of their logo or their general aesthetic, whether that's their website or whether that's their Instagram feed or their Facebook page. All of those things are connected to brand, and they're all representative of who the artist is, both as an individual and as a creative. So that's why it's important. In the same way that a resume is important to a job interview, a brand is equally important to an artist. And in a lot of ways, the artist's brand is their resume. It speaks to how they see themselves, how they see their music, and a good brand means that an artist has carefully considered who they are and what and who they want to present to the world. And so that, to go into your second question, that's how their brands appear in publications or get any kind of recognition, is because they've put that consideration into what they're pitching to the receiver, without that receiver being able to hear the music or perhaps even see a picture. When I think of brand, the big thing I think of first is how an artist chooses to represent their name. And I was actually having this conversation earlier this afternoon, that choosing how to represent your name speaks volumes to what someone should expect from the product that you're delivering.
That's really good to know as well. I think I can speak for myself. I know as an artist myself, finding that image or finding that that connection to the importance of what it means to someone inside and out, and what that looks like on paper, if you will, for lack of better terms, I think is probably, you know, the first most important step to capture that through a name.
And the brand does expand beyond just the stuff on paper too, or the stuff on the screen. It is the actual representation of who they are, from their style to the way they do their hair, or in the case of female artists, or in general, if you're doing makeup, the kind of makeup that you use, your whole visual presentation is your brand.
And it goes into the fact that your brand is, it's your business. If you're doing music as a business, great. If it's not a business, or you're not doing it as a business, it's a hobby, and you might as well go and do something else along with it. So and I can, and I side note, I relate this to this reminds me of drag queens. Simply put, if you're as a drag queen, I know that if you, RuPaul has said it, if you are in it as a drag queen, you know what? You're going to shave off your eyebrows and you are going to be full in, right? You don't want to be drawing over top of them. You don't want to be doing things half-assed, 75% or whatever it is. You're either in it or you're not in it at all. And I think the brand is a big part of the business. And everything you said is fantastic for our viewers. And we have, our viewers, we have young kids who are taking music lessons, who are wanting to do music in the industry in their future, to have it as a job. A lot of musicians start off by saying, I want to make music my career. And then they end up fizzling out because they feel that they don't have either the support from family. I know Eric Johnson was saying, back in the Shot of competition, that family is extremely important, and the support of having family behind you to do it is as a must. And knowledge like this that you're sharing is also important. So thank you for giving all of that information.
How dare you bring up that name in my presence? I'm leaving. Going back to my trailer.
You like that guy.
And I expect a bottle of Canadian Club before I'll even think about coming
I was going to get you some baby duck.
Oh, baby duck.
Before we go on to just a couple of other things and moving on to different topics, explain to us why. Okay, so we have our brand as an artist, and we want that brand follows us wherever we go, and we represent that brand, whether it be we are communicating with people at a competition, we are rubbing noses and getting to know each other at an award ceremony, or we are shooting the shit and having a great conversation and getting to know people. Why is it important also to carry that brand over and making sure that your EPK is important? Why is it so important to keep that
to have consistency throughout?
Consistency throughout. So what you're wearing, what you're representing, how you're talking to people, who you're hiring, who's representing you, that brand is never ending. It's through everywhere. So it also is represented in your EPK. Why is it so important for artists to be updating their EPK as a brand consistency?
Well, I can answer very simply with a great line by a contemporary philosopher of sorts. And you've heard me say this before. I love this line. And I think it answers your question. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And that's from Simon Sinek. In that one sentence, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. The what is your music, and the why is you as an artist, or the artist. You'll put out a song, it'll come and go. People will download it, they'll listen to it. You'll put out new songs. But those come and go. That's just the passing thing. People buy those things because they enjoy the music. What they're really buying is you, the artist. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. They're buying into you, the artist, and what you believe. You believe in your music, you believe in your story, you believe in your message, you believe in the emotions that you put behind the music that you create. People fall in love with that. And it doesn't matter whether they're a fan or whether they're a blogger. or whether they're a music supervisor, doesn't matter who they are outside your artist mind. They have to subscribe to your why. They have to subscribe to you. And by subscribe, I mean like, love, enjoy you as a person, as an artist. And without that consistency, if you're bouncing around from one thing to the next and you don't develop that consistency in the brand, those people who are subscribing to you will start to question what it is they're subscribing to. So I came on board when this artist was doing this, but now they've done this. Well, which one was the real one?
Right.
And that's a difficult question to answer.
Toilet paper.
Right, exactly. And it's a difficult one for people to digest. So that's why the consistency is important.
And the why is, you know, for my opinion, my advice, I would advise artists to really dig deep inside to find that why, and really start from their why they do music, and what is based off of their experiences. What experiences have they had in connection with artists? Why do I listen to XYZ, and how does it affect me? And then what is my connection with that, and reverse engineer that and find that why within yourself.
Oh, for sure. And I actually, this is going to sound kind of corny. But everything about that, for me, in my opinion, comes from, like I said, this is going to sound corny. It comes from a place of love, but I don't mean like romantic love for oneself and your craft. And when you have that, through what you mentioned, Curtis, about having that introspective time and developing that appreciation for oneself and their craft, you'll find that those things fall into place relatively easily.
I agree. I think for my own journey, I have found things, the journey's never ending, and education never finishes, and adapting to change, and learning all about it, and going with the flow, adapting and accepting, for sure. I think, I recommend we all do that. I recommend we all take a breath.
Everybody love yourself.
Right? Everybody love yourself. What is the one thing that keeps an artist or band from operating at their peak performance?
Walking before they can crawl and running before they can walk.
Okay. That makes sense. I mean, I get that, but for the viewers who are watching,
sure.
The artist is going like writing a symphony before they learn what song structure is.
Sure. Or thinking that you want to get a manager before you understand your business.
Absolutely. There you go. So really know what your business is before you even attempt.
Well, know who you are first. Know that the music industry, the business, is not an easy place to be in. It takes time to develop both yourself as an artist, your crowd, or I say crowd, your fan base, your artistic styling, your songs. It takes time for those things. So patience is what you need, and that's usually the hardest thing, because an artist, once they put out one song, often feels like, well, now should be my break. I went into the studio, I recorded one song, now I really deserve it.
That is not the way it works at
all.
No,
patience is the biggest virtue you could have as a singer-songwriter recording artist.
With regards to the evolution of music, where do you see your management capacity at, and how will it be affected in 10 years? So we see how management has changed between the relationship of the artist and the manager back then. And we see, and again, it's part and partial. Like you say, every manager is different, every artist is different, and that relationship, that synergy between the two is key, without a doubt. but in the industry, because the industry is ever evolving and changing every day. There's a new.
I hope my profession doesn't exist in 10 years.
Really?
I hope that enough aspiring recording artists recognize that they could go and take some night courses or enroll in any college and take some simple business management classes and not need guys like me anymore.
And that's the thing, look, for me, I always hope that I can have a manager. Mm-hmm. I really truly do, and I think again, it depends on who you are and what you want and what your goals are as an artist in the industry.
Sure,
etc. I know it is changing, but I know out there right now, I encourage everybody, and I know you do as well. There's music business courses out there. You can take everything online for anywhere and everything. I mean, there's courses out there from Harvard University that you can take that are available on YouTube.
Well, not even that. Go on YouTube and you can find everything you need to know to develop your business, and the nuts and bolts are all there.
Absolutely.
I suppose what I hope is that the business management side of my profession doesn't exist, but that the guidance and defense role becomes something else in and of itself.
Guidance and defense role. It would just
what I mean by that is, I said at the onset, when it comes to the role of a manager, I like being protective of the artists that I work with. I like having their best interest in mind. I like being so invested in who they are, what they're doing, and their potential that I feel protective of them. On the guidance side, I think that artists struggle with putting themselves out there with issues that are really eating at them. And the best managers are empathic managers. Ones who know when something is up, can sense a difference in the artist's body language or cadence, what they're thinking, what they look like. They look sad. You know that they're sad. That's a good manager to me. And those parts are the parts that I enjoy most. So I suppose it's selfish to say that I hope they continue on. But in general, I just hope that artists become more aware of the business.
I do as well. I see artists as well that again, they work so hard, or they feel they work so hard to do music, and then write the song, and then don't do any of the back office work, all of that day-to-day operation for the business. You look sad, so you're a good manager.
Well, and it's also, and everybody knows this, anybody who's an artist, who's been in the business as an artist, artists get taken advantage of a lot. And more often than not, it's because they're unaware of the particulars in business nuance.
Right.
Especially when it comes to contracts, agreements.
So much red tape and fine lines.
Right. Or just trusting their gut when it feels like something's off. And I suppose that's why I hope that artists find that opportunity for education.
And education is so extremely important. Couple more things here before we finish up here this evening, my dear good friend CJ. What is the shot and why did you launch it? And where? Tell us a little bit about it. And we're going into season 9. It is. I've been. It's.
Well, is it season 9 or is it season 2? I haven't quite figured that one out yet. The Shot is an artist development platform, recording artist competition for Canadian singer-songwriters and their original music. It spans over 2 or 3 months. The judges are a unique, eclectic group of industry professionals in entertainment as a whole. And I believe that it really provides the opportunity for artists to do a couple things. Aside from put themselves out there, aside from expose others to their original music, and you know this, having done it, it's a community of artists. You meet other artists from across the country. You're able to find new collaborators through that community of artists. I think that the long-term relationships are invaluable. And the momentum that comes out of doing the Shot for an artist, I think, is probably the most valuable thing. So while it is a competition, there's so much more weaved into it that I'm particularly proud of in seeing it develop over the last 6 years, that it really does offer a great service to independent Canadian artists. And about the where, we are going into our 9th season or 2nd season. I say 2nd season because it became the Shot remastered last season, and now it's the 2nd season of the Shot remastered. We're in that season right now, and Canadian singer-songwriters age 18 and up can go to singfortheshot.com and either submit a demo video of their original song, or they can do the Instagram Live virtual auditions, which are every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, not Mountain, Eastern. 7 p.m. EST every Thursday, and get a yes or a no right on the spot.
And I have to say,
in the Instagram Live virtual auditions.
You know, and I second everything that you have said. Having been through the Shot myself, for anybody who is watching or going to rewatch this or watch this on Shaw Spotlight on cable television, everything that you said is 100% true. Even if you don't make it through the finish line or what the Shot's finish line is, I know that I went through my own finish line being in the Shot. The connections I've made with you, with other judges, other artists, not only that, but my development as an artist and music has exponentially, it has just expanded and exploded into something that I always wanted, but I know I had to work for it. And the Shot is not only just, like you say, competition, it is artist development. And if you get out of it what you put into it. And that is definitely the truth in my eyes. And I'm grateful for the Shot. It's extremely entertaining to watch. Not only is it great Canadian original content, but it's again, things had to change from last year due to COVID, and everything was all redeveloped. Normally it's shot in front of a live audience. You guys are there with the judges, camera, television, all that stuff, right? So it was great to see the evolution of the remastered version of it. I go watch this, guys. Made for TV is the YouTube channel. You can go and watch all of that. Singfortheshot.com. CJ, before we get you to bow out here, can you please give us the best tip that you possibly can for an artist who is watching today, looking for a manager or anything of the sort? Sum up everything that we have talked about today with a piece of advice.
Well, first, you're a great ambassador for the Shot. That was really great, and thank you for that.
You're very welcome.
You're a great ambassador.
If you ever want me to do a commercial, let me know.
You're hired.
Done.
100%. You're hired. Best piece of advice. This is going to sound cliche, but I actually mean it. Just be authentic. Whatever brand you develop, whatever music you write, however you perform, be your truth. Be authentic. Don't try to package yourself as something that you're not, because anybody who's been in the business, works with artists, has any kind of sense about artist development or artist and repertoire can see right through those things. I've seen it thousands of times, and it's very easy for someone who works with artists, sees artists on a regular basis, to know when something is off. And there's genuinely no worse feeling in the world than having to tell an artist that what they're doing doesn't work.
Hear, hear. Brother, thank you so much, CJ. You are a great friend. You are a fabulous manager to the industry. I thank you so much. I know our viewers have had a great time watching tonight's show. We will this will be edited for Shaw Spotlight, and then it will be also available on our YouTube channel soon, and then we will share it. We will get it out there and represent yourself, what you represent, and I support your support, my friend. Thank you so much.
The pleasure is all mine.
Have a
happy to come back anytime.
Oh, we will have you back, I'm pretty sure. Thank you, CJ, and I will let you bow out gracefully.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was CJ Allen, music manager for artists in the Canadian industry. If you're just tuning in for the last 13 seconds or 30 seconds of this, please make sure that you go back to our YouTube channel, subscribe to it, get yourself into the competition, and remember, welcome. Oh, my piano's turned off. I haven't played the piano the entire time. Here we go. Welcome to Chattin 88s. We had a lot of fun tonight. That's great. Oh, CJ Allen was our very guest, 'cause spending time with me is the best. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a fabulous evening. Stay safe. Stay home if you have to. We love you, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Mwah.